Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. I gotta tell you, I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're about to crack the code on something that has been a massive headache for digital creators for, well, a really long time. Today, we are diving headfirst into the rapidly evolving and completely free world of consistent AI story creation. So if you're a newcomer who wants to craft these compelling visual stories without spending a dime or without pulling your hair out over annoying technical limitations, you are in the exact right place. Let's get right into it.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You generate this amazing, rugged hero for scene 1. It's perfect. But then you try to drop them into scene 2, and suddenly their hair changes color, their jawline shifts, and they end up looking more like their distant cousin. It's incredibly frustrating, and honestly, it completely ruins the immersion for anyone watching your story. Trying to keep AI faces from shape-shifting from scene to scene has literally been the ultimate roadblock for creators.
But thankfully, we have moved way past the messy old way of doing things. You know, rolling the dice and just praying the AI spits out something that somewhat resembles your main character. We've made a massive leap forward. Today, we're talking about the new way, creating precise, story-ready characters that look totally identical in every single frame. And it's all made possible by tools like Google Whisk AI.
So here is our roadmap for today's guide. First, we'll go over your AI story toolkit. Second, we'll dive into scripts and characters. Third, generating those consistent characters. Fourth, automating bulk images. And finally, number 5, adding motion and voice.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, your AI story toolkit, the free essentials.
Think of this workflow like a giant puzzle where all these different platforms just snap together seamlessly. For our story and prompts, we're going to rely on claudeai. For those perfectly consistent images, we use Google Whisk AI. For our bulk automation, we'll tap into Higgsfield MCP. And to actually give our characters a voice, we'll be using Gemini 3.1 Flash. You might want to take a mental snapshot of this cheat sheet right here.
Moving right along to Section 2, Script and Character Sheets, starting with claudeai.
You'll love how incredibly simple this is. Seriously, you don't need to be some professional prompt engineer to get amazing results. You just open up claudeai, give it a target word count, say something around 150 to 200 words. Then pick your aesthetic. Maybe you want a 3D cartoon vibe, Ghibli style, or even hyper-realistic. Give it a basic topic and just hit generate. With only a handful of basic parameters, you're commanding the AI to draft an entire, compelling narrative.
And this right here perfectly illustrates the sheer power of this specific tool. claudeai isn't just writing the story, it's instantly doing all the heavy lifting of prompt engineering for you. It automatically creates the character reference sheets for your protagonists, and then it goes ahead and generates detailed, scene-by-scene visual prompts. The AI does all that tedious technical thinking so you can just focus 100% on your creative direction.
Okay, let's jump into Section 3, generating consistent AI characters and bringing the story to life.
Let's actually look at an anchor story from our source material to see this in action. It's a classic tale about Ramu, who's this greedy sweet seller, and a fairy who visits him asking, "Give me one laddu." We take this raw text and it directly translates into the specific dramatic beats that we need to visualize for our audience.
So here is the specific workflow over in Whisk AI, and I really want you to pay close attention to step 2 here because it's absolutely crucial. See that little plus subject option? By taking the character reference images that claudeai just generated for us and uploading them here, you can click that subject option to explicitly tell the AI, hey, use this exact face for Ramu and use this exact face for the fairy. Then you paste your prompt, hit generate, and boom, the AI locks in that character consistency.
I mean, just look at what this outputs. No way, right? You're getting high-resolution, watermark-free images right out of the gate. But the real victory? The real game changer is that whether Ramu is happily selling his sweets or he's crying his eyes out because the fairy cursed his sweets to turn to dust, his face, his outfit, his entire character design matches perfectly across every different story beat. It is pure magic for visual storytelling.
Now real quick, before we move to the next step, I want to bust a little bit of technical jargon. You might hear the term Higgsfield MCP and immediately think it sounds incredibly complicated. Trust me, it's not. Just think of it as an automation bridge. It's simply a tool that talks directly to your AI so you don't have to sit there manually copying prompts and clicking generate over and over for 20 different scenes.
Which brings us to Section 4, automating bulk image generation, working smarter.
Linking these tools up requires a super brief one-time setup inside claudeai.
All you do is add a connector, paste in the Higgsfield URL, log in, and, this is the most important part, set the permissions to always allow. That just makes sure the AI has permission to send instructions right across that bridge we just talked about.
Once that bridge is fully built, the efficiency is literally mind-blowing. I'm talking one single prompt. With that one prompt, claudeai and Higgsfield work together to auto-generate your character reference sheet, render every single scene image in perfect order, and, get this, they will even generate your YouTube thumbnail for the story. It completely removes all the repetitive manual work and just lets the AI run on autopilot.
And finally, Section 5, adding motion and voice, the final polish.
First things first, let's get those static images moving. Right inside Whisk AI, you simply click Animate, turn off agent mode, select a video model, something like VO 3.1 Lite, paste in your prompt, and generate. Or, you can also achieve this by using Kling 3.0 via text if you prefer. But just like that, suddenly your static sweet seller is physically handing over that Laudu.
Next up, we need some professional-grade audio to match. And the cool part is, we can do this without ever leaving the free Google ecosystem. You just open up the Google AI Studio Playground, navigate over to Speech and Music, and select the Gemini 3.1 Flash model. Just make sure you clear out any extra speakers so you only have one selected, paste in your script, pick a voice you like, and hit run.
And wow, this is where the emotion really hits you. Going back to our story, the AI perfectly voices the fairy's dramatic curse, "All your sweets will turn to dust tomorrow." Having a high-quality AI voice deliver these lines just elevates the entire production. It gives your visually consistent characters the actual emotional weight they deserve.
And then, the whole shebang comes together. You take all your raw ingredients, the generated audio, the short video clips, the static images, you drop them into your favorite editing software, align everything up nicely, and export. You have just turned a bunch of scattered files into a fully edited, perfectly consistent, and super engaging masterpiece.
So, you officially possess the ultimate free toolkit. You can completely bypass those old technical barriers, automate the boring stuff, and direct cinematic stories with absolute 100% character consistency. The only limit left is your imagination. So armed with all this power, what story will you bring to life today? Will you be the one to create the next viral animated series entirely for free? I can't wait to see what you do with this.